Hello, my friends. This is another video of the general sentiment of the US stock market. And on today's video, I will show you the price action from ticker symbols SPY, QQQ, the majority of stocks from the Magnificent Seven, and I will show you even the price chart of Bitcoin. Guys, each and every timestamp you will find in the description below. And if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to join my Patreon account. And guys, for now the market is really crazy, and if you want to preserve your capital and if you want to be consistently profitable, guys, this is pretty much the perfect chance for you to be in on a green territory for the majority of times. And you can use Discord access tier for just about $1 a day, and it will help you to mitigate your potential losses and improve your profitability on the market. But with the gold tier membership, guys, you have an unique chance to use my experience of more than 13 years on the stock market, on crypto market, and on forex market as well. You have pretty much unlimited access to my brain, to my analysis, and you have a weekly Zoom call, a weekly 30-minute Zoom call where you can ask me anything in regards to your portfolio, to your strategy, in regards to the upcoming market movements, etc., etc. And guys, you know that just less than 24 hours ago, Donald Trump implemented new tariffs, and here was the substantial disaster on the market. SPY index dropped by about 5%, and let me show you a sneak peek on my Discord group. As you can see, just yesterday at 5:49 p.m. I published this video where I explained what you should or you should not do with the upcoming news and how these news might affect the stock market in general. And right after I published this, market has a substantial drop. And top of that, guys, take a look right here. The tweet that I published right after the news came out. This is a perfect example of why you should never bet on any news. And I published the same chart of SPY index. And that is why, guys, if your potential losses are more than $150, guys, it is a perfect opportunity for you to just mitigate it and to be consistently profitable. That is why, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. So, and let's begin with SPY index. And guys, last week was, I would say, the most terrifying week for the entire US stock market, and not for US stock market, I would say for the entire world economy, because only SPY index lost from its swing high from the point of about $565. It lost about 10.56%. If you switch to just SPX index, you can see that it has, wait a second, SPX. You will see pretty much the same price action, and here is the most, I would say, impressive movement to the downside for quite a long period of time. I didn't see this type of substantial movements basically from the end, from the beginning of February of 2020, from the COVID sell-off. And definitely something should happen within a foreseeable future. I mean, something in order to fix at least partially the market. But let's take a look at its price action in more details. Guys, you can see this breakdown, and this breakdown I made for my patrons, for my Discord members. And I have to admit that I want to focus on the most recent price action. First of all, guys, if you take a look on indicators, you can see that the daily indicator of RSI on SPY index is extremely low. It is at, you can see it right here, 23.24 points. And it is pretty much the lowest index, wait a second, since COVID times, since it is the most It is the most impressive movement to the downside for the last 5 years. And guys, if I switch to smaller time frames, you can see that even 3 hours time frame, 2 hours time frame are extremely oversold. And 4 hours time frame is also extremely oversold. And this means, guys, the upcoming week might bring us at least a bounce, and how high this bounce might be. If I pull the fib retracement tool, and by the way, guys, I don't want to show you the count, Elliott wave count in this movement. I just want to show you the potential closest movement of SPY index for the, I would say, beginning of week. But if you want to know more about the wave count and the further projection on this index, you can join my Patreon account, where for just $1 a day you will be able to know all the details about stock market. And guys, let me show you right here that I show to my patrons a lot of updates, and you can see that they are consistently profitable. For example, this update was made by Alexei on April the 3rd, and he took a short position on S&P 500 index, and he gained a lot of profit on this ticker symbol. So guys, what should we expect next, and how high the bounce might be? If I pull the fib retracement tool from this top to this bottom, you can see that even a dead cat bounce might bring us to the current price about I would say 2.5% of upside potential. But guys, if you dig deeper inside, for example, hourly time frame, you can see that in my opinion, we don't have a completed structure on this movement, and even though the bounce is very anticipated, I cannot tell you that this is the real bottom. We might see another leg or couple of legs to the downside, but eventually this retracement should happen, and it might bring from 2.5, as I already mentioned, all the way up to 4.5% if it hits 0.382 level. Let's take a look at QQQ index. And by the way, guys, the breakout, let me show you this crucial point. Potentially we are in downtrend for the medium and potentially long-term perspective, because we've completed all 5 waves, and these 5 waves is nothing else but the extension in the 5th wave on the biggest scale. If I switch to monthly time frame and zoom out, you can see that this asset had a parabolic movement, and it already lost from its highest point about 20% of its value. And the most important breakout that happened just last week is this one, guys. We broke this bottom, and if you take a look at my Patreon group and at my Discord group, previous count was following. We potentially could have the bottom of our 4th wave. Let me show you at this point, but with this breakout we broke below this bottom, and this means we confirmed that all 5 waves are in. That is why, guys, unfortunately, in my opinion, we are at a downtrend, at consistent downtrend that will last for at least several I would say years. But don't be afraid. If you want to be consistently profitable, just join my Patreon account. So let's take a look at QQQ. And QQQ is pretty much at the same point. We are at extremely low levels on our side. We have extremely high momentum according to MACD indicator, and it is pretty much the lowest levels of its moving averages that you can find basically from the entire several years of its previous price action. And to be honest, this asset also broke its crucial point. Let me show you like this. It also has quite a similar count as SPY index, and it also broke this bottom. And on top of that, guys, it was scratching this bottom as well, and it is another confirmation of potential long-term downtrend. But at the same time, guys, this substantial movement might find its support at this level. And according to Elliott wave theory, I have to admit that we also might have a substantial bounce to the upside for QQQ index. And it is not a financial advice, but be prepared for this type of price action at least at the very beginning of the week, because on the multiple time frames we are at extremely low levels of our side, and we have to see this relief from the last week. Next ticker symbol is SOXL. It is a Direxion daily semiconductor bull 3x index. And guys, I caught several movements of this ticker symbol back in the days, and for now I have to admit that this movement to the downside for the semiconductor industry is also very terrifying. But in my opinion, it is not the end, because from the fundamental standpoint, we might see the announcement from the White House about the upcoming semiconductors tariffs, and depending on the results, definitely we might see some huge reaction. And on top of that, guys, I want to warn you to trade this ticker symbol, because if SPY or QQQ lost within just a couple of sessions just several percent, this asset lost for just 2 sessions alone about 50% of its value, and it is really terrifying. So let's take a look at Magnificent 7 stocks. Let's start with Amazon. And what do we have right here? Again, you can see that I made a breakdown on this asset for my patrons. And let's take a look. So, yes, unfortunately, we also have the invalidation point of this movement, because we cannot have the bottom of the fourth wave that is lower than the bottom of the third wave, or the bottom of the initial wave. This means this potentially could be the top of the third wave. This is the bottom of the fourth wave, quite shallow, I would say, and this is truncated fifth wave. And here is an impulsive movement to the downside. And I have to say that Amazon is at the point where it was at the very beginning of August of last year. And this sell-off, guys, happened because of the Japanese tsunami, I would say. It was the announcement of Japan Central Bank about their interest rate level. And guys, I have to say that again, this type of harsh movement cannot have a V-shaped correction within just several sessions. We cannot have this type of movement to the upside because of its structure. Most likely, we have to see some kind of consolidation phase at the levels, let's say in between $160 and $170, and then depending on the market sentiment and depending on other indicators that might show you how what is the condition of for this asset in terms of the technical science. And right after this consolidation happens, and I don't think that it will last for quite a long period of time, it is just a blueprint of its potential consolidation at the levels in between $160 and $170. Then we will have another major leg, and in which direction you will find in my Patreon account. Next one, let's take a look at Google. And Google is in consistent downtrend from its highest point that was established at the very beginning of February. We don't have, I don't see substantial declines in its movements, but you can see, wait a second, I don't need this tool because it is for now, I have a different count, slightly different count for this movement. I will show you again if you want to. I will show you it in my Patreon account. But here you can see that we can identify this movement to the downside as the potential channel. And this channel had a breakout above its upper border, and it was a kind of bull trap then it went down. It retested this lower border and had a bounce to the upside. And for now, guys, I think the breakout to the downside is happening. If it won't come back to this channel within next several sessions, I think much lower price points will be hit. So let's take a look at Tesla. And Tesla is in quite interesting position. This is the setup that I made back in mid of March, and it was very profitable till this point. And the price target was set at around wait a second, $303 with an upside potential from the entry point of about 31%. It is still in green, but definitely most likely the majority of people who took this call already closed their position. And in one of my previous videos related to Tesla, I showed them to put the stop loss on the green territory. That is why, guys, it is a pure profitable trade, and in worst case scenario, it is just a break-even trade. So what to expect next? Let me show you without any tools. I have to admit that we had a very good impulsive movement to the upside that potentially was the movement in the third wave, but this retracement to the downside has not the most, I would say, pleasant structure. If it breaks this bottom, and this bottom is not so far from our current price, it is lower by about 5.5% from our current level of $239. Potentially, guys, we might see another leg to the downside that will extend to somewhere at $200 mark. So just be cautious, and let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia again is in consistent downtrend, and you also can see that I do this analysis pretty much on a daily basis. The most recent one that I made for my Patreon group, you can see, wait a second, just 2 days ago. No, it wasn't this one. It was TA on demand. Let me show you right here. On April the 3rd, I made this update on SPY, ILMN, IDXX, Palantir, and MSTR, and the general market update for April the 4th. And yes, let's take a look at NVIDIA price action. And what do we have right here? So, unfortunately, Nvidia is forming its lower lows and lower highs, and it is in consistent downtrend from its swing high, and potentially it is its all-time high for at least several months. Because, guys, again, we broke this bottom just a couple of days ago, and this means we have a confirmation that 5 waves already in. On top of that, if this asset breaks about $90 mark, and potentially, guys, we are extremely close to this level, it will confirm that the major top, the all-time high for at least several years is right here at $156. And again, if you take a look on a smaller time frame, you can see that we are at extremely oversold condition. This means the bounce is very likely, but the let's say levels are not so high. Let's delete unnecessary tool, and let me show you that. Wait a second. That potentially the bounce might be just a dead cat bounce. It is 0.236 level. If I pull the fib retracement tool from the top to the bottom of the most recent swing highs and swing lows, and it is just $97.08, which implies not more than, wait a second, about let's say not more than 5% of upside potential. That is why, guys, just be cautious, and yes, the likelihood of bounce is quite high, but it will not be the highest. We have to establish, first of all, an impulsive movement to the upside to confirm the trend reversal, at least in the short-term perspective, and then make some conclusions. So, Netflix is not a Magnificent 7 stock, but it has a very interesting breakout below its crucial level. Take a look what is this level about. It is nothing else but the range of support and resistances. It is the upper border of the channel that this asset respected for quite a long period of time. If I switch to 4 hours time frame, you can see that Netflix grew inside this channel for quite a while, from from 2022, and it made a breakout above the upper border of this channel, retested it from the top, made another bounce to the upside, retested it again right here, made another bounce, but it couldn't form higher highs, and instead of these guys, it is forming first higher low. This means potentially the trend reversal for Netflix is already here, but don't try to short this stock, because again, this breakout is just an indication of the potential movement to the downside, and according to its indicators, we also might see a bounce to the upside, and this bounce might retest the lower, basically this level of support that became level of resistance, and then we might have another leg to the downside. So take a look at Apple. What do we have with Apple? Yes, Apple is also in downtrend, and again you can see this forecast that I made somewhere. I don't remember where I made it, but for my viewers, for my patrons, and this was the most anticipated movement to the downside. I was anticipating it for quite a while, and I expected another leg to the upside that shouldn't break potentially this top, but it could hit the upper border of this channel, parallel channel, that is nothing else but a bear flag. And it happened, guys. This breakout happened. We had pure price target of the same length that we had previously, and it is one of the patterns that I teach my students, and I have to admit that it is very interesting to see how people who are very new in trading, basically they are happy to see this quite a lot of patterns that they can recognize and use in their favor. So again, Apple is in downtrend, not only from the technical standpoint, but also fundamentally they have their main facilities in Chinese territory. That is why, guys, potentially this company might be hit by tariffs much harder than other stocks from Magnificent Sound. Let's take a look at Microsoft. So here you can see the channel that was formed from, wait a second, from end of December of 2024, and we had a breakout below the range of support on February 24th. And guys, take a look right here. We had a breakout below this level of support, had first retest, and it went lower. Then it had the second retest of the same exact range, and next movement to the downside. And the third retest was crucial for this level of resistance. And for now, it has an impulsive movement to the downside. Does it mean that it is forming a kind of new pattern? Guys, everything I will show you in my Patreon account if you join it within next 24 hours. So let's take a look at Meta. And Meta is in downtrend as well, and you can see by this movement with the very high volume that potentially it is not the end. The bounce might happen within the next several, I would say, first sessions of the upcoming week, but to be honest, the major trend might change for Meta, because if you take a look retrospectively on its price movement, we had basically Meta had quite substantial movement for more than 830 days, and it gained more than 700% within just less than 3 years. And this movement to the downside is very anticipated. It is just the nature of the market. We have to see this cool down, and definitely this quite harsh sell-off is not an unique price action, but it happens not so often for this type of huge stocks like Meta. That is why, guys, be cautious, and if you want to know more about the upcoming movements basically on an hourly basis, please join my Patreon account, and there I will explain you what should we expect next. So let's take a look at Bitcoin price action. Let's switch to cryptocurrencies, and what do we have right here? Bitcoin doesn't have trading sessions. It is in trading mode 24/7, and let me show you this quite interesting pattern. You can see that it has a very substantial range of resistance, this sloping line that it respects pretty good. And we had an attempt that was an attempt to break it to the upside on April the 2nd. But right after the tariff wars announcement from Donald Trump, we had very substantial rejection. And guys, this asset for now has the level of support. Wait a second, I will show you like this at the range of about $82,472. And unfortunately, it is in so-called descending triangle. It is another pattern that all of my students know how to recognize. And if it breaks to the downside with the conviction of volume and with the next daily candle below this range, most likely, guys, we will retest about $72,000, because in general it might be the last it might be the last chance for Bitcoin to hit its range of support somewhere here at its previous swing highs that was established on March 2024, basically 1 year ago. And if it breaks below this level, unfortunately, we will not see its next all-time high prices for, I guess, couple of years, and it will be an official bear market for at least 2 to 3 years. So, and I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby,